Hello, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Tony Sapita, and I am joined again by my co-host, Nick Barr. How you doing today, Nick?
Oh, pretty good, Tony. How can I not be? We gotta win, albeit a little ugly, but we gotta win. So let's go.
A win is a win is a win, and obviously that's what we're going to be talking about. This is the post-game, just kind of wrap up of the Bulls versus the Pistons. So we're going to kind of get into everything. Who was our rising star? Who we thought was the best night? All that fun stuff. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Stupid Car Tray.
Yes, sir. And if you would like to enjoy the rest of these Bulls games at home or on the road, head to stupidcartray.com and use code J16. That's JAY16 at checkout to get 16% off. The link will be in the description. Tony, we're fresh off a win. Hit me with your takes, baby.
All right. So before we kind of get into the takes, here's the numbers behind the takes. We'll give you that big stack, guys, over here.
I like it. I like it.
Yep, absolutely. Numbers never lie, as they say. So
maybe we'll start being right sometimes.
Yeah, maybe do our own math pre-show instead of on the fly and getting it completely wrong. But Zach LaVine,
overrated.
Speaking of a guy whose numbers do not lie, he was 11 for 17, 34 points, only 1 for 5 from three. I will say at the end of the game, when I looked at that, I definitely thought he had at least 3 3-pointers made. 11 for 11 from the free throw line, which is awesome. Absolute nails down the stretch too. 7 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a block. He did have 2 turnovers. And that's just the big one. I'll just kind of run down a couple other. DeMar DeRozan, 8 for 17, 7 points. Made his 1-3, 0 for 2 from free throw line. Vooch he was 15 and 15. That 15 being rebounds and points. 7 for 21. He kept shooting threes, which was really annoying because he made the one and he's like, I am hot. And
Yeah.
He just was not. It is the Vucevic show, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Just kept firing. And then we'll do one more here. Let's go with Lonzo Ball, 5 for 12. He played 33. All the starters except for Patrick Williams actually played 30 plus minutes. Patrick Williams played 28. But Lonzo Ball, 5 for 12, 2 for 6 from 3, which is good to see because we were worried about his shot, but looked okay, looked decent. 3 rebounds, 6 rebounds, actually, 3 offensive and 3 defensive. Talk about some balance, baby. 4 assists, 1 block, 4 turnovers. He did lead the team in turnovers. Actually, that's not true. Alex Caruso did not lead the team in turnovers either. It was Lonzo Ball. I got confused with the fouls. I blame ESPN's system. And then lastly, Lonzo had the highest plus minus at 17. He had 12 points overall. That was a little chaotic. I apologize for bouncing all over. Again, I blame ESPN. Nick, I have a question for you to kind of lead into our takes, our comments on the game. Who do you think led the team in steals and blocks, both steals and blocks?
Okay, so they led both
individually,
categories.
Not like combined or anything, but individually led in steals and blocks. Same
okay,
guy.
Okay.
Same guy.
Oh, so I'm gonna say Caruso. Caruso felt his presence. He only had 3 points, so we might need a little bit more from him. But I'm gonna say Caruso. He felt like he was all over.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you were actually correct. He had 4 steals and 2 blocks. He had
2 blocks.
Yeah. Oh. Now that I'm looking at it, 2 blocks. Okay, there we go. Again, this is I blame ESPN for their layout is just my eyes are all over the place here. Yeah, 4 steals, 2 blocks. I don't know. I was confused when I saw it. I thought I misread this thing. That's awesome. He played great out there. Nick, overall comments doesn't have to be on Caruso, just in general.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. So a little bit of first half takeaways. So a couple of things, I think I mentioned the pod before that we want. I think the easiest way for P. Will to make his impact known, other than defensively, right off the bat, would be running the floor with Lonzo. We know Lonzo's going to push it. We got a lot of one-on-one talent on the team, so a good way for P. Will to fit in would be running the floor. We saw that happen. We were just this close to like a windmill slam from Patrick Williams. If he just had a little bit better of a pass, maybe it's end up being a little bit of a layup. Still, I'm looking forward to that connection. Hopefully they become best buddies here coming up. Alizé looked good at first. I thought he looked a little bit inexperienced, like eventually, once he was in there for a few minutes, but he shows that he can guard bigger guys, be a presence for us. But just I think we were all just a little bit like the wind went out of our sails a little bit when we were just like looking at the halftime score against the Pistons and we're like 44-40. It's not even that we were like obviously that we're losing. That was sad and a little bit disappointing, but it was more the fact that we only scored 40 points after like that kind of preseason. Of course, we kind of knew it. We should have known, I should say, that was going to happen. We were just not finishing layups straight up. So there's a few things here that I don't think we need to overreact on. Vooch is going to hit more shots. Like he had 15 and 15, but that's a little bit misleading. Like his efficiency wasn't great, right? LaVine was pretty efficient and at 34 points, but that we expected. I think we should get a lot more from Vooch coming down the stretch, and I think that'll come naturally. I think we'll be all right. What were some of your first half takeaways?
Yeah, that Patrick Williams one, that alley-oop was awesome. He started off hot and then kind of faded quietly into the night. Alizé Johnson at first, I was all in. Dennis Rodman 2.0. He had that nice little hustle. He followed his shot, that hustle rebound off a terrible attempt from the side of the basket. But he got it back, and there was a weak charge call, I think, when Kelly Olynyk decided to flop. But whatever, that's okay. But he faded too. Once Ayo came in, though, I think in that first half, I joked that it was going to be Caruso. I think on Twitter that would be the spark that ignited kind of the rally. It was Ayo, and he came in. He wasn't hot yet in the first half, but I know he filled in for Troy Brown Jr. kind of tonight. Filled in his role, and I mean he brought the energy, and it carried over to the second half. And I gave everyone Bulls -2.5 on the live money line at halftime, and boy did that hit. So overall, it was a tough first half, but like you said, it wasn't that we weren't getting outplayed. We just weren't making baskets. Straight up. So
the defense was there. Like, I guess that's one thing we should definitely feel good about, other than putting a good old fashioned W in the column there. Is that the defense looks to be for real. That was one of those things where we're like, well, I know we're going to be a little bit undersized, but clearly with the active hands that we showed, like we made up for it with turnovers, points off turnovers, all that. And it looked like that's holding up. If that can continue, obviously that would be amazing, because when some of our guys aren't hitting, like Vooch, then we make up for it on the defensive end. And we know LaVine's usually going to deliver. DeRozan, it was pretty awesome seeing him. He had kind of a quiet 17, I would say, but it was pretty awesome just seeing a guy that we have in our own Bulls uniforms just be able to go one-on-one, fade away. Little bit of an MJ silhouette, if you will. I'm not comparing him to MJ. I'm talking about just simply his silhouette on the fadeaway looks a little bit similar if you were to put a shadow next to it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It just feels good to have that. I think having LaVine with the ball down the stretch a little bit more in the fourth quarter, we're going to want that. He's our guy. Now, obviously, we got some other talent around him, so he doesn't have to have all that pressure. But again, I think I would like to see him with the ball a little bit more. But regardless, a little bit more points from the bench. We'll start knocking down some of those shots that that Vooch was missing. And I think things are looking up, but it wasn't the prettiest, that's for sure.
Yeah, something that one of our buddies, our friend Austin, actually texted us saying something that the team seemed to do a little better. Not about better, but there was more energy maybe. They were a little more consistent with DeMar on the bench. Obviously, that's not going to be a trend throughout the season. I would hope not. I can't imagine it will be. But he did kind of have a point. They did seem to play a little better with him on the bench tonight. But the big thing with DeMar is you don't bring him in to be kind of like what LaVine was, where he goes off for 34. He's probably going to have a bunch of 30-point nights. He's just the guy he's always going to have 20-ish points. He's going to be the guy, the steady hand that keeps, anyone can do that night one. You're excited to get out there. You're playing full energy, no injuries, hopefully. Once you get into December, into January, into February, like the dog days of the NBA season when you're on game 57, he's still going to be the guy going out there, dropping 20, 25 points, just kind of keeping everything in line. So I'm not too worried about DeMar. I know that was kind of something that people were looking at it. It was like, it wasn't, an all-star night from DeMar, but I have no issues with that.
Right.
Overall, good W, good victory, and that's what's important. They battled back through adversity, came back, they were down. They could have quit at any point. The past couple of years, Bulls teams would have gotten blown out by 35, I'm sure, going down as big as they did. So that was kind of my overall takeaway.
It's still good vibes. Of course, we would have liked to see, a similar trend that we were seeing in the preseason, just Showtime Bulls just wiping everyone out. But this is life, man. It's a slow play. We got to be happy with what we got here. I think the back and forth and even just the closeness in general of this game was a little bit shocking, but it made for an exciting first night, my friend, for the Chicago Bulls.
It absolutely did. There was also a little spread drama right at the end. The Bulls were floating between 4.5 and I think 5.5 as favorites. And there was a weird little play at the end. The ball got tipped to, I didn't see who it was, but ball got tipped out to the elbow. Pistons seemed to have made a shot to cut the lead to 4. And immediately, I think when they cut to the post-game show on like NBC Sports Chicago, the first thing they said is, "Did that ball count? We're brought to you by, PointsBet. Did that ball go in?" And then they're all checking their phones like, it did not. So it did not count. Bulls cover, Bulls win. Good teams win, great teams cover. They're good and great, that means. I guess kind of, this post-game show, it's going to be short. So, Nick, any kind of final takeaways? Anyone in particular you liked seeing? Anyone you wish you saw more of? Just kind of hit us with the last couple thoughts.
Yeah, last couple thoughts. I would say, the bench, being outscored by the Pistons bench that much that probably makes me the little bit the most disappointed. But again, I think we'll see more from Caruso as we go on. His presence was still felt though, which is the cool thing about having Caruso, is that I think he's always going to have, we're always going to know when he's on the floor, whether that be on defense or hopefully he's providing some spark on offense too. And overall, the bench, I would like to see, get involved a little bit more. But no, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, this pretty big 4-game stretch here. So it is a win, and yes, I will accept it. So let's keep rolling.
Yep, I agree. And my kind of last point here is, first of all, shout out Jeremiah Grant. He led the Pistons, 24 points, 8 for 20 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3, 6 boards. He was their brightest star. They had some flashes, but that was really the main guy for them tonight. But what I noticed, I think the biggest thing I noticed, and they actually pointed out, Stacey King, maybe it was Adam Amin that said it, but they're going to be doing a lot of rebounding by committee because Vooch is big. Vooch is going to get rebounds. He's the tallest guy on the team, 7 feet tall. But, either when he's not out there or if he gets kind of pulled out, it's up to LaVine, who grabbed a ton of, he grabbed 7 rebounds tonight. He was tied for second with DeMar with rebounds. And those are guys that will grab rebounds. They're not always the guys you necessarily would expect to be the rebounders on your team, on a normal team, but they're going to have to do that. And they did. And that was cool to see. Like I said, Alize Johnson, I think, will get more boards down the stretch as well, because he hustles. And Alex Caruso is the king of hustle.
Hustle king. Yeah, hustle king. That's undisputed already.
Yep. So shout out to everyone for following us on Twitter. Shout out Bulls Bench Mob. They've been they've been interacting with us a bunch, and it looks like we're gonna see a lot more of this bench this coming year. So that's cool to see. Maybe we'll get Marko Simonovic, my personal Tony Kukoc award winner at the end of the year, if he plays literally one game just because he is from Europe. And Nick, any final thoughts before I send us out of here?
Oh, I got a final thought. My thoughts are with Troy Brown Jr. Mm-hmm. Saw a little tweet here. He's dealing with a mouth issue. He's having trouble eating. That could be up there for one of the worst injuries. Like, he might as well have a torn ACL. That's a shame, man. So I hope he gets better. But I think the fans are pretty thankful that they got to see a little bit of Ayo. He snuck in the lineup a little bit more because of that. But thoughts and prayers with our boy Troy Brown Jr. and his mouth. That's all I got, man.
Of course, T's and P's to TBJ, as we've always called him. Shout out Ayo Dosunmu again. Chicago kid, making it rain, kind of. 1-3. That counts. Making it raids. So with
Look
that,
good.
everyone, yeah, thanks for tuning into another episode of Just Another U Chicago. My name is Tony Sapita. Thank you again to my co-host Nick Barr for joining us. Everyone, stay safe out there. Keep cheering on your Bulls. Keep seeing red, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, actually. So stay tuned.
Yes, sir.